everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video it's time to get our first cut silage on the ground. So I just have to move the troughs out of the way that are out here. So we are in our big field, as we call it, 38-acre field, and as you can see there is a savage crop of grass on it. It is yeah, it's a big crop of grass, or it looks it anyways. So yeah, we're about 3 weeks behind last year, which I am quite frustrated over, but I can't do anything about it. It's the hand we're dealt. We'll talk more about that when we get mowing, but it is most of the 90% of the field has gone to seed, so we are looking at more bulk than quality, but it is what it is. Just get these troughs out of the way, we get unfolded and we start mowing. We have the guts of 90 acres to get mowed now, so not all for ourselves. Just over 60 acres of first cut silage going to the pit. Then we have about 5 acres that I'm going to mow for baling. It'll be the other half of the multi-species sward, and then after that we've about 20 acres ish to mow for customers. So 2 customers. So I know this is very strange now. I'm now holding my head with a bandage, and it was supposed to be a seamless transition from the last clip to now, but I had to go home for the dinners. Dinner was just ready. I didn't really plan that well coming up here. I hadn't even started mowing. But what happened? So I should also try to set up the mower while I talk. So what happened that I'm now bandaged is we had a machine arrive to the yard, or a new piece of equipment, and we were unloading it off a flatbed, and in unloading it, a piece of timber fell and packed me in the head and gave me a nice wee cut. Can't see the skull anyways, and it doesn't need stitches, but there was a lot of blood. Well, maybe not a lot of blood. Look, Liv will probably put him, because she'll probably put on something saying I'm just a drama queen. But to heal the hunt anyways, I need to be bandaged to stop it bleeding. I have to hold a nice pack on my head. I don't have time to sit down. No headaches, no blurred vision, none of that whole crack. But they said bro has to stay with me just in case I'd take a fit halfway through mowing. So Eric is now with me for this evening, and you are so enthusiastic, aren't you, bro?
I'm very impressed.
Very enthusiastic. But anyways, I think I'm ready to mow now. So just camera just looking at last year, it took me 2 hours 49 for first cut, second cut 2 hours 34, third cut 2 hours 20. Right, ready to rock and roll. Might teach you how to mow the butterflies, bro.
No thanks.
Why not?
I don't want to take your job. I have enough jobs as it is.
Taking their jobs! Taking their jobs!
Took my job!
No, it's the taking their jobs! 1000 speed would be helpful. My headland circuit's in. Front more. Rev it up and away we go. So we're on the third round of the field, and the field is actually quite dry. It's drier than I've seen it, even than last year during our first cut. Now our first cut was 3 weeks earlier than it is now, and last year it was wet into May. But this year, this camera, you can see we got pretty close. That's the boundary of the canal, and the canal flows back into the field, into the drain of the field. So that's where the water comes from that wets the boundary of the field and why there's rushes there. But you can see our line from last year. See the red line there, that red and white? That was our outside boundary. So I got an extra 2 runs in than I did last year. So I call that quite a significant improvement on how dry the land is. The crop isn't just as bulky as I thought it was going to be by walking into it, because I am driving in 2E doing 9 kilometers an hour, and the tractor's not under massive load. I could probably, when I get into the ups and downs, I'd probably chance F, so I'll be getting up on 11, 12 kilometers an hour just to push her on like. But, and it's turning out that it's maybe a little bit more leafier and not as stemmy as I thought. So all pretty positive, but I think we'll have to adjust our expectations to how much we're going to get off the crop. It's just not going to be the same amount, but there you go, it is what it is. At least we're getting it done now. Bro's having lots of fun here. You just tell by his face, he is so excited to be mowing. Swing it round, and up we go. Fish, and again, and backwards or down. And away we go. We are just starting the ups and downs of the field now, so we've 4 rounds of the field done, and everything has been going pretty good. So it has. So this is where we really see now what the crop is like, going across the middle. So we're only at 36 litres, so there's no major pull on the tractor. So I'll pick it up to speed now when we get the first run done. Might fire up the drone while I have a drone pilot. Oh, that put a smile on his face, fly the drone. I'm also trying to nurse some ice on my head because the head is still sore. I'm fine, I feel fine, no headaches, no confusion, no blurred vision, no nothing, just head is sore. And the ice pack just makes it feel a little bit less sore. I suppose a little bit on the crop at hand. So what did we put out to grow this crop of grass? Well, the heifers came off this around second week of March or first week of March. I'm gonna say first week of March. It was the first week of March. They were on it for a month, so it was closed up from the first week of March. We didn't get any slurry or fertilizer on it till quite late because of how wet a spring it was. So we didn't get the slurry out till the second week of April, and the fertilizer the same. Both were done the second week of April. We didn't get our fertilizer and slurry out in time to be able to get that early crop. So what this field got, all our silage ground actually, not just this field, got 3,000 gallons of pig slurry to the acre, along with 1 bag of urea to the acre. We could have went out with more urea, but we're trying to balance the cost of the urea over how much we need to put out. All our ground is soil tested, and we have a nutrient management plan done as is required nowadays to be able to buy fertilizer in the first place. So we reckon that's what we get away with. When we have this lifted, we'll be going back out with about 2,500 gallons of pig slurry, and we might go out with 2 bags of urea to the acre to push for our second cut. So we'll be lifting this tomorrow, so it's going to get not quite 24 hours on the ground. That would be the plan. And yeah, it should be fine. Anyways, we keep on.
Where you
and ups and downs, bros, just after flying the drone. What did we forget to do, bro? Well, I forgot to do charge the controller, so it's minimal amount of footage. So I might try and film a bit later when I'm on the next bit. But everything is going pretty good. So I'm using the AB line that was set from last year, which is along that head. So I literally just finished my fourth run in the middle, cut down, mow out this section, then I go back, mow out that section. That is the pure joy of the Trimble system. It is just bang on the money every time. I'm not steering, it's doing its own thing. And it just gets it all. There is no half runs, missed bits. Every run is a full run. No shortcut until you get to the end of the field. That's what I love about it. The only downside to that is when you sit here, ignore that red flashing light, that's not important. You cannot see the fuel or the temperature gauge. You got to sit up to see the fuel and the temperature gauge. So that is us finished here now. Just checking mic working. I think it's working. It's that fear when you're using the mic that's not going to work. So Brendan's just after arriving with the 3690 and the rake, so we'll just give him a quick crash. Maybe not so much a crash course, but just get him set up with it. So we fold up the mowers. It took us 2 hours 37 minutes to get that mowed, and there was no time lost at that. Was the bro? 2 hours 37 minutes to mow that. We've done 2 or 3 days work with the 3690 now between tedding and mowing. Push it. The one thing is when you're folding it up when you're finished, just be careful that that arm folds first. Okay. Because that tire sits on top of the other tire. Right. So, because the first time I went to fold it up, after I had it unfolded, the 2 tires caught and it wouldn't fold. So you just,
what you do if it happens?
Oh, you let it fold back down and then fold it back up. And then when I was tedding the last day, I was running her around there. So what's that, around 1800? And I was going on, I think 1C when I got going. So when you start driving forward then, you just keep tipping it down till you see it hitting the right spot. So about that, you can see it's clearing the grass there now. That's Brendan gone shaking that out now with EirCode Silage. It does a lovely, lovely job. Like a smashing job. And the width it has taken, it makes such a difference. So not turning the back sward and then he just turned the field. But it does a lovely, lovely job. So we're going to turn everything just to get a bit of a wilt on it for the few hours it's going to be down before we lift it. We'll go mow for 2 customers now, get them out of the way and then come back to mowing our own. And hopefully by the time I get the 2 customers done, it's about half an hour's mowing in one job and about 40 minutes in the other. We'll mow the 2 jobs. And by the time I get back then to mowing our own, Brendan should be ready then to go to where I'll be mowing of our own next to keep recording. And we're just in the next field to do. So I have the map from last year. Anyways, we get to it. That is us down there now. Liv is also just after arriving to swap with bro. So how long did it take? 27 minutes. So again, fold her up, we'll be on to the next job. Bro, bye bro.
Says,
enjoy your evening.
I'm going to, since you ruined it.
Don't work too hard. So we are up here now in the next job. So last time we done it, it took us an hour. We have our maps and everything there, we have our acreage, we have all our lines and whatnot, and you will notice there is 1 line mowed because I come up last night with the 3690 and the John Deere and I mowed. There was a couple of smaller fields that are just too small to be going in with this outfit, so I mowed all of them and there's one at the very end of this field, so I just mowed the track down while I was going. We crack on and we get this one on the ground, and yes, it looks very narrow, but it just goes up the hill and opens onto a big field. There's a savage crop of grass out here. I'm not using the house here because the field is just so long and narrow. There's no straight hedge to put a line to. But look at the pollen. the amount of pollen, anyone who has the slightest notion of hay fever would be absolutely bollocks. And if there's a car coming behind me on the road that has hay fever, they're done for. It's just, there's a fair old crop of grass on it now, so there is. A fair old crop of grass. And that is us mowed. So, how long did it take? 49 minutes. So that's a good improvement on the last time. Time to bait on. Back to road now. We're over the halfway mark. 30 more acres to mow for ourselves-ish. So, oh, and the bridge field too. Don't forget the bridge field. Anyways, we're going to get McDonald's on our way past, going through Longford, and we're going to go back mowing our own. So, yeah, have some nice salty McDonald's goodness might help the head of it. It's just craving the salt at the minute. Anyways, we'll be on. So we're just down the bridge now on our multi-species sward, and yes, there is like 2 or 3 calves out. Liv has just gone to see can she put them back, but I make a start. So I'm mowing basically another section of the field I didn't mow the last day, with the exception of where I have a track in the centre of that there where I got stuck with the pipes. And then Eric got stuck down there when we were going with tankers of slurry to where the calves are now, the bit we cut. So I'm going to mow this off. We have really strong behind the centre there of the second paddock that the calves are on. The first paddock just hasn't come back as well, but we'll take whatever's off it. It's kind of gone tronyini, gone stemmy, so we'll whip it off it, and then the calves will move back this way, and then we'll be back at a lovely stage for grass for the calves to grow on. I want to change my pressures of my mower beds. So that's the clocks, the stair. There's 2 accumulators which measures how much weight the bed of the mower is on the ground. So I want to increase that to about 100. So in increasing it, it puts more weight on the tractor and it lifts the bed up, so it takes less. If I happen to hit a stone, it'll take less for that to bounce off of. Whereas the lower that number is, the more weight is on the mower and the less of a suspension or bounce it has off the stone, if that makes any sense. And this is for baling, not for lifting, because this is first time being mowed since we reseeded it. It's in case we lift any stones with the mowers or the rake that they go into the baler, it won't do any harm, versus maybe going into the self-propelled and blowing up the ingestation on it, or the drum, which has happened before. Many years ago we lifted a stone and destroyed the inside of that harvester. I mean, just from the shear bar to the end of the spout, everything had to be replaced. So that is us finished the multi-species sward. We'll fold up again. 23 minutes, knocking the other half of it. It's light up here. Great crop down that end that got the slurry. So up here was wet, couldn't get slurry on it. Down there got slurry because it's drier, and we also mowed a bit out there. But there's that whole section there, kind of where the calves are, to the where I got stuck, is very wet. Very wet. So that's going to need a shore. By right, the shore needs to go from up there and then a diagonals across the middle of that down to where I got stuck with the tanker, just down there where I couldn't mow, into the river. And then maybe a couple little spurs off it there. And after that, I'd say that should dry up that field. Should. Doesn't mean it will, but we'll live in hope. Live in hope. Next up is the new field, the new farm. We're going mowing where I have not mowed before. And I'm quite wary to mow it because I have no idea what's in it. We have it rolled. There was maybe 1 or 2 stones, no issue, but it's rolled. We checked it, everything seems fine, but there's still that bit in me that's like, I was going to leave it till last, and you let me know in the comments which would you do. My theory would be that because it's the bit of ground that I don't know, and I feel like if I'm going to break the mower on something, that's where I'm going to break it. My theory would be to leave it till last. So therefore, if I do break, everyone else is mowed. It's not that big. It's an issue, but it's not a big issue because everyone else is mowed. But Liv is saying mow it while we have daylight, when you can see what you're doing. Which do you think? Do you think my theory is better, or doing it during daylight when you can see better is better? This is the new farm. Take that one out, yeah. and this is the first field that we're going to be mowing here. So there's quite a lot of ducks out here. So we will be spraying it for ducks after we get them cut and everything kind of rejuvenates, and we may try and stitch in a bit of grass seed, because as you can see, it's not the cleanest of silage now. There's a good bit of buttercup and duck in it. Yeah, that's what we have to look forward to now. Fingers crossed, and touch wood, ow, that we come back out the gate not broken and with the field mowed. No, I'll fit in, I'll come at an angle. First challenge, getting into the field. The microphone has left the chat, so we're just at the top end of the field. So, Liv's after finding the wire, but coming up, we had a wire along here. The bulls broke out here about a week ago onto this, and we put them back to where they should have been. They broke out across 3 wires. We actually reckon they got a run, something random. A dog or God knows what, something had to spook them and make them run to go through 3 live wires. But we never come up to see. So Liv has the wire found now, but that's problem 1.
You can do anything.
No, I'm going to watch you work. Remember, I'm poorly, I'm the patient.
Okay.
Mower and tractor in its natural habitat. I had to sit in nettle. Mower and tractor in its natural habitat. Just along here, and I actually don't know where here is the safe spot to go down, but just along here the brow is all dug with cattle, not our cattle, but cattle before ours, and it's all stones and clay, and it's pretty steep. It's not mowable, and the stones falls out from that then, so I have to be careful how close I keep to it, because I don't want any stones. So we're just coming into the wet half of the field, so it's hard to know how much to mow. So you can see the rushes in front of me there, we'll stay out there. There's a track from the hedge coming out to kind of halfway up there. I have to watch out for it, and the septic tank is over by the tree. Just over there, other side of the header. So there are all things to watch out for this side. Now dark, and that is it done. So we found our stony brow. It's actually on top of the hill, or the brow, not so much down the brow. I thought it was down the brow, but it was on top of the brow, so it caught me out a little bit, but we'll have to mark that. So how long did it take us? 1 hour 28 minutes, but we did hit a stone and I had to change 2 knives. Anyways, we'll be on to the next one. So we're just inside field here. Liv will turn the camera, wipe the pollen off the window. So the last time we mowed this, it took me 34 minutes. So if you can look, there seems to be a lovely crop of nice grass there. Very little dirt there. Well, Liv was showing off the ducks just beside us, but there's very few in front of us, and it looks nice and leafy. It looks real good stuff now. It looks real good stuff. So we'll see how it bulks up. No point getting out, it's dark. The midges are about, and if you get out or leave windows open this hour of the night, they just all come into the cab and then they attack you, and you're just spend the whole night just swatting and swatting. So we're mowing away, and this is a smashing crop of grass, bulking really nice, lovely and clean, and just at what I would consider ideal stage for cutting. It's just starting to go to seed. It's not fully at seed, there's still lots of leaf there. It's not over bulky, but it's just, to me, it seems like the ideal, as this was grazed late by the bulls, hence it's that bit behind other crops and is in lovely order right now. Watch out. And another one bites the dust. 33 minutes. Next field now. Wire is just just about there. It's hard to see it, so it is, but we should be all right. But so this field here, same treatment as the rest, 3,000 gallons and a bag, but this is the only field that hasn't been grazed in 24 yet. The last time this was grazed was in November, so this has been growing since November till now, so there is a substantial amount of grass. It doesn't look too dirty or too terrible bad, but it is kind of all fell down on itself. I expect this to be the heaviest, both sides of this wire. Just have to watch out for a few little bits, watch out for that wire, but other than that we should be sound. I don't actually have it on the trimble since we last mowed it. I haven't mowed this in maybe 2 years, but it's safe ground to mow. We used to mow. And that is it. We are done. So there's 3.44 hectares there. So that's, I think it'll be less than 8 acres, around 8 acres. An hour and 20 minutes. That also included maybe spending 10 minutes-ish rolling off wire I got caught in the front mower, which was lovely. What you want at 1:10 in the morning. So it's time to fold up and behan back to the yard. But yeah, that is all the silage underground. That's the first cut. 3 weeks late. The new field, the new farm, it's docks and thistles, or sorry, there's not actually no thistles, docks and nettles. That needs something badly done with it. Superb crop of grass in one spot, and then this here is heavy. So when you see wire, you're driving along the hedge doing the back sort, and next thing you see the flickering out of the grass, and then you're like, oh shit, that's the wire gone into the conditioner and wound itself around it. Thankfully there's a free wheel on the conditioner and ours, so it's just a matter of kept rolling it backwards and I was able to roll it off. And so it wasn't too bad for how it has to be taken off. But anyways, look up, we're finished, we're going behan. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If any comments, anything like that, hit me in the comments down below. If anyone wants for the crack, how I basically broke down how many hours I've been in every field that I mowed today, how long have I actually spent mowing, and then you'll be able to figure out how much time I spent traveling on the road. Probably be a scary thought to think of, but I'm tired, the head is still a bit sore, but and Liv is also half asleep here. But yeah, we'll go behan back to the yard. Hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from me, and sleep and live. Good luck.